Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we're going to be talking about Spectre again. Because I've been thinking about the Duel Links prediction series and what it's for, what it could be used for. The first video was kind of an objective discussion about what the cards are, how they can be used, what the combos are, that sort of thing. But I want to stress that there are that when I talk about something, it's not an endorsement. So for this particular video, I want to tell you guys, I do not think Sunavalon or Spectre will be good. I want you guys to understand this. So I have a lot of concerns about the way the deck functions. I have a lot of concerns about the way the deck plays. I have played the deck before in Master Duel, and let's talk about it real quick. So the entire core idea is that you take damage, and you can special summon a monster from your extra deck, and then you get to heal all the damage back. It's a cool idea, definitely. If the game was a lot slower, and if the opponent was an NPC, basically. One of the biggest concerns that I have is one of the most powerful monsters in the meta right now is Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Straight up. Like, a lot of people have that card, a lot of people are running that card. If you don't have that card, I highly recommend that you get it. It's just one card that solves all your problems, really. It lets you OTK, it lets you negate cards, it can't be destroyed by card effects. It's so easy to make. It goes in so many decks. You can play it in Rockets, you can play it in Raid Raptors, you can play it in Phantom Knights, you can play it in Luna Lights, you can play it in basically just name any deck that's dark. Every deck plays level 4s. You can play it in Orchist. You could play it in probably play it in Gadgets if you could figure out 2 dark monsters. I mean, you could play it in Shadal's, definitely. You could play it in any deck that can play Armageddon Knight. So, yes. Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon, extremely powerful card. Definitely get that card at 1. And get it with Raider's Giant, and you're fine. The problem is that this card, which is really, really good, and which a lot of people are going to be playing forever, is the absolute end-all counter to the entire strategy of Sunavalon. Sunavalon has no other defensive tools other than their ability to absorb damage. And if that gets negated, then there's nothing they can do. Their Link monster has 0 attack points. Their Link monster only can't be destroyed in battle because of its effect. If you negate its effect, then it's just a 0 attack monster that you can crash into, and if your opponent wasted all of their resources making a Link 3 or a Link 4, and you just destroy it, and they take full damage, and then they don't get to heal because the monster got destroyed, then you didn't do anything. If you spent 4 cards to make a Link 4 that was 0 attack points, that has an effect that's going to protect you, but can't interrupt your opponent, and then your opponent just makes Arc Rebellion and kills you, then what are you going to do? I mean, you could say, okay, well, I'll draw Sunavalon Bloom. Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe the idea is they're going to push a skill that allows you to make Dryan Tray on turn 1 as a Link 4, and then they give you the trap so that you can get a board negate, and that's what they're going for. First of all, that is objectively worse than Red Rain. Straight up. Being able to negate your opponent's board 1 time is way worse than being able to banish every monster and also make your monster unaffected by card effects for the rest of the turn. So, if you want to play a deck that focuses around building a board with a really powerful, really cool monster and a really good trap to protect it that's guaranteed by a skill, play Resonators. You will have more life points, which is better than healing life points after you've taken damage, and you will be able to actually win the game if you go second. With a monster that has all these drawbacks and just can't be protected, there's no way that they can create a skill that would allow you to actually use this card the way it's intended. No, there's no chance at all. So you would need to have like 5 cards in your hand. You would need to have like 3 back row, 1 that like protected your card from being destroyed, 1 that stopped your opponent from building a board to begin with, and then 1 that like countered something, right? You would need like an Omni Negate. An Omni Negate and a protection and a disruption. And then even then, all you have is a Link 3 with 0 attack points. So I just don't see it. And remember, you have to have one of the cards that's in your back row will always be Sunvine Sowing. Always. That's, you make Dryas, you get your Sowing, you bring back your Sunvine card, and that's how you get into your Link 3, your Link 2. So one of your 3 back rows is always going to be a continuous spell that does not stop your opponent from winning the game. How do you come back from this? You don't. So, and Arc Rebellion is just 1 card. Arc Rebellion is just 1 card. Even a card like Malevolent Sin, which is also extremely good, also extremely common. It's been power crept a lot, but I mean, if you're playing a rank 4 deck, chances are you are going to have Malevolent Sin as an option. And if Sunavalon becomes, popular, Malevolent Sin is the easiest counter to it. Because you just banish the monster, now you don't need to worry about any of its effects, you just attack directly and you win the game. Because it doesn't stop you, it doesn't have any disruption. All it does is protect you from battle. So, yes, you should look at the box. Maybe they're going to have a card like Bengal Lancer in it, that'd be really cool. Maybe they'll have a card like Aromaseraphine Jasmine in it. I'm not saying the box is a skippable box, but I really, really doubt that the Sunvine, Sunavalon, Sunseed deck will be effective in any way in Duel Links. Plants, just like a generic plant pile, probably. And if they give Spectre like a plant skill, just like generic plant skill, he will probably see a ton of play as a character. He will probably make like this sort of Rika, Lone Fire Blossom pile. Maybe we get generators, maybe we get Lone Fire Blossom, who knows what's going to be in the box. But it's not going to be the Sunvine cards that make it work. As much as I want them to. I really, really like Sunvine Thrasher, and that's why I had to come back and make this video, right? I love the character. I love the theme. I love the art style. I love the idea of a Link 1 that is just ridiculously powerful. But you can't choose to go second. That's so many cool decks fail because they can't choose to go second in this game for some stupid reason. If you don't have disruption in your archetype, then you are either reliant on back row or if you don't have any disruption in your archetype, you are either reliant on back row or you are reliant on generic cards. And Sunseed, Sunvine, they lock you into plants. How many good generic plant cards are there? Not very many. And the problem is, the cards that do exist, either we don't have, or even if we do get them, you're going to need resources to make them. You only have 4 cards in your hand, and Sunvine is not an easy deck to play regardless. So even if you could, play Bengal Lancer and play Rika and play Aroma, are you going to have room for Sunvine as well? Probably not. What are you going to... How many cards are you going to put in your extra deck? Let's talk about it. How many cards can you really put in your extra deck if you're going to be playing this core theme? You need at least 1 copy of the Link 1, at least 1 copy of the Link 2, at least 1 copy of the Link 3. Then you need probably 2 healers, maybe 2 Gardenas, 2 Thrashers. It's already like 10 cards. I mean, yeah, the skill will probably give you some cards in your extra deck, absolutely. But unless it gives you like 1 of everything, you are still going to have a ridiculous amount of your extra deck, spoken for. Because you have a Link 1, a Link 2, a Link 3, and a Link 4. And none of them, you don't stay on those. They're just for climbing. When 3 of your cards in your extra deck are just for climbing, and you're only using the 4th one, half your extra deck is already spoken for. So, yeah, I mean, it's sad to say, but I really don't think this deck is going to function. That's my thoughts on Spectre and on Sunvines and Sunavalons concluded. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.